Today, millions of people wear wedding rings. They see them as symbols of love, trust, and a promise that lasts forever. But what if I told you that wedding rings were not originally about romance? In fact, some of the traditions surrounding wedding rings were built on myths. Others were created by businesses. And one of the biggest wedding customs in the world today exists because of a marketing campaign that changed history. Welcome back to Surprising Histories. The truth behind wedding rings is far stranger than most people realize. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at a wedding ring the same way again. The story begins more than 4,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed that a circle was a powerful symbol. Why? Because a circle has no beginning and no end. To them, it represented eternity, something that could last forever. When couples married, they exchanged simple rings made from reeds and plants found near the Nile River. These rings were not expensive. Many broke after a short time. But the ring itself wasn't important. The meaning was. For the first time, people began using a simple circle to represent an endless bond between two people. It was a beautiful idea, and it spread far beyond Egypt. But when the Romans adopted the tradition, the meaning changed. Today, most people think of marriage as a love story, but in ancient Rome, marriage was often more about family, status, and property. For many Roman families, a wedding ring was less about romance and more about an agreement. Some rings were made of iron instead of gold. They symbolized commitment, but they also represented responsibility and control. Marriage was often seen as a contract between families, not simply a relationship between two people. It's strange to think about now. One of the world's most romantic symbols once had very little to do with romance at all, but an even stranger belief was about to appear, one that millions of people still follow today. For centuries, people believed that a special vein ran from the fourth finger of the left hand directly to the heart. They called it the vein of love. The idea was simple. Place a ring on that finger, and it would connect directly to your heart. People loved the story. It sounded romantic, perfect. And for hundreds of years, almost nobody questioned it. Then doctors began studying the human body more closely, and they discovered something surprising. The special vein didn't exist. The famous vein of love was nothing more than a myth. Yet even today, millions of people continue wearing wedding rings on that finger, not because the story was true, but because people loved the meaning behind it. And the biggest twist in wedding ring history was still ahead. If you think diamonds have always been connected to weddings, you're not alone. Most people believe that. But for most of history, diamonds were not a major part of marriage traditions. Many couples used simple metal bands. Some used other gemstones. Some didn't exchange rings at all. Then in the 20th century, a diamond company faced a problem. It had plenty of diamonds to sell, but not enough customers. So it launched one of the most successful advertising campaigns ever created. Advertisements appeared everywhere, in magazines, in movies, on billboards. The message was simple: a diamond equals true love. Then came a famous slogan: diamonds are forever. People believed it, and sales exploded. Within a few decades, millions of people began treating diamond rings as an essential part of marriage. A tradition that many assumed was ancient was actually shaped by modern advertising. It's one of the greatest marketing successes in history. The next time you see a wedding ring, take a closer look. Because you're not just looking at a piece of jewelry. You're looking at thousands of years of history, a history filled with love, tradition, myths, business, and changing beliefs. What began as a simple ring made from plants beside the Nile River became one of the most recognized symbols in the world, not because it stayed the same, but because every generation gave it a new meaning, and that is the real history behind wedding rings.